And meet some famous Texans. Wow. Texans are famous for lots of different things. Some have been heroes during dangerous times. Others played major roles in government, serving as judges, members of Congress, and even presidents. There are many Texans who are famous in the world of musicians, writers, and actors. The Texans hero. President Texans became heroes on August 17 when Hurricane Harvey hit large parts of the state. Harvey caused the most damage of any hurricane in U.S. history. In a short time, it dumped between 40 and 60 inches of rain onto Houston, this much as the city usually had in a whole year. Streets and houses flooded. People with boats rescued victims and saved them from drowning. Neighbors helped neighbors. Onlookers formed human chains to bring people across flooded streets. Stores opened to offer shelter to the homeless. Volunteers went down to the door searching for anyone who needed help. These people worked around the clock. This boy found a dog at the rescue center after the hurricane. Dr. Stephen Kimmel was a surgeon in the suburbs of Houston. His house flooded, but when Dr. Kimmel got a cold this boy as possible in an operation, he needed help to help him. Dr. Kimmel caught a ride in the rescue truck, paddled a canyon, and walked almost a mile in West Steep to get to the hospital. He made it because Kimmel never gave up. The boy has his operation. It would take a long time for Texas to recover the Hurricane Harvey. Many Texans have the same spirit that Dr. Kimmel has. They were hard to rescue, to rebuild as soon as possible. Government. Many famous political figures have also shown the spirit of Texas. Two Presidents D. Eisenhower and Lyndon B. Johnson were born in Texas. President George H. W. Bush and his son George W. Bush called it their home state. And Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman Subaru Cars, was born in El Paso and went to school there. Willie Nelson, country and music. Lots of famous musicians are from Texas. In the 1970s, country's western stars from Texas, such as Willie Nelson and George Strait, played their music in Austin. They made country western music popular all over the world. Austin is called the live music capital of the world. Popular singers Bayon Knowledge and her sister Solange Knowles grew up in Houston. Bayon said that she is proud Texan that housed her in her home. She helped people who needed food after Hurricane Harvey. Here was to meet some famous Texans. Lyndon Baines Johnson, 1908 to 1973. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in a visit to Dallas. Lyndon B. Johnson was his vice president, became 36th president of the United States. Lyndon Johnson is famous for signing civil rights in the Act of the 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of the 1965. There are two most important civil rights laws in the history of the United States. During President Johnson's term, America was regarded in North Vietnam. Wow. The fighting got worse. More Americans were against the war. Because of this, Joseph decided not to run for president again. He retires to a Texas ranch. Claudia Alta Lady Bird Johnson, 1912 to 2007. Lady Bird Johnson was Lyndon Johnson's wife and first lady of the United States. She's a good businesswoman who made speeches that helped her husband win election. As First Lady, Lady Bird helped pass laws to make America more beautiful by getting rid of billboards littered along the highways. Thanks to Lady Bird, drivers enjoy wildflowers along all the way over Texas. Her love of nature inspired the program against littering. A famous bumper sticker that says, "Don't mess with Texas." Barbara Jordan. Barbara Jordan was a teen teacher, lawyer, and a civil rights leader. Barbara was also the first of African. Wow, that's good. The Red Adder legend in Texas. It was an expert at putting out oil well fires. It's one of the most dangerous jobs anywhere. Red invented a way to put explosives in the well to stop it from burning. After that, firefighters must cover the well. While they were doing this, the well might explode at any time. He once said he traveled all over the world, but I don't think there's any place better than Texas. Selena Quintalap, Brazos. Selena's song is a queen of jazz music. When she was very young, Selena began singing at Brothers Restaurant with his band. Her brother and sister were also in the band. Selena became so popular that when she was 15, She was voted the best digital female singer in the year. In 1994, she won the Grammy for the best Mexican American album. Selena played a concert with many 60,000 people in the audience. The albums also have more than 60 million copies. In 1995, Selena was 23 years old. She was planning to fire a woman who worked for her. The woman shot and killed Selena. Her fans were devastated. George W. Bush, who was governor of Texas at the time, declared that her birthday is Selena Day in Texas. She remembered as one of the most important Latin musicians of all time. Chapter 8, Deep in the Heart of Texas. Today, cities in Texas have a level of business and energy. Some of the largest companies will have their headquarters there. Texas had grown from 11 million people in 1972, 28 million in 1950. On Houston streets, you might hear people speaking over 90 different languages. The past today. Texans are proud and vast. There are historical sites over San Francisco, Battleground, Spring, Texas, and state capital, Benning, Austin. But the most beloved site is Alamo. Kids celebrating Texas. Beginning in kindergarten, kids in Texas learn Texas history. They study the bravery of Sam Houston, Lyndon Wright, and Barbara Jordan's struggle to serve her state and the country. The school celebrates Texas Independence Day in March. In class, kids might imagine themselves their screaming people goblets in it. House and hurricanes and running up cattle on the ranch. No matter where the families came from, most of them will probably agree that once a Texan, always a Texan, and the others might warn people not to ever mess with Texas. This is the end of our book today. See you next time.